Pretty frustrating, as I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I'm standing right here now, so we're gonna see what's up. Okay, so right here, anybody got something to say? I'm right here. I'm alive and well. I'm operating out these different channels, and it says one's saying one thing, one's not saying the other. So right here. So I got one screen that's got Ted on, and the other one's got Jeremy Booker on it. So JB's on one, Ted's on the other. I'm trying to figure out why it's not coming together. She back. This ain't good. Hmm. Okay, here. Okay. Okay, cool. So I got double simulcast. I don't know what's going on because the other one ain't working. But this one is back. So I'm going to go with this one for now. It's got you on this one. It's got JB on the other. Shaking my head. Because I got JB's message about, hey, you're out, say something. So probably is. Probably some truth to that. And you know, other content creators go through this mess. They probably want to distort, put a rabbit in the hole. I wouldn't be surprised. You're having too much fun. You're bringing them numbers, bringing entertainment, bringing in interest, but they don't want you talking about certain things. Wouldn't be surprised. I am a conspiracy theorist, and I do believe it exists for real. Especially nowadays with the algorithms, because people are more connected than ever. So it's not like back in the coast, so you wherever you were, and you couldn't have access. Now everybody speaks. But when we talk about certain people, it's an enterprise business. They don't like it. Political figures. Because I could come on and tell you that Vivek is a never was, and Nikki Haley is a bum. Okay, I could say that. So there we go. We ain't even gotten into politics. Just like you know, a lot of it. Oh yeah, if you shuffle and you talk about tap dancing, people will love that. But when you start talking about some truth and consequences and you talk about some issues, you scare people, you know. So like if I came out and told you that Mike Pence is a never was, which he really is, you know. So yeah, her son-in-law, then that turkey must be like just milk cream chowder. I mean, he must be so whitewashed that uh, he makes Tiger Woods look like Suge Knight. I mean, I'm really, I mean, really, that's pretty bad. Pretty bad. and less aura. Because Sarah Palin did have those glasses. Yeah, but not if they get whitewashed. If they get whitewashed, it don't really matter. See, the thing is that yeah, she can have them, but that's kind of like Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, and some of these others who they have a house of black kids, but they don't bring the flavor. They don't bring no flavor. So what's the difference? What's the thing if you don't bring no flavor to it? You know what I'm saying? You gotta have some flavor. And you can bet your bottom dollar they're not gonna be they're not gonna be, you know, saying nothing that's gonna be offensive, you know. So just saying. So but yeah. I haven't even touched on that in this. I could. Nikki Haley was offensive. All of them. Vivek's offensive. Trump's offensive. Um, 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 Biden's offensive. They all offensive. Shoot. Can't stand none of them. You know. So if you can inspire me, get it because I spoke the truth about your politician, you know. Yeah, there's always like one of those kind of cats that I call him broke boo rat. That's what reminds me of like broke boo rat. You know, he just a bad joke. But there's a lot like that. You know, this is old Denzel Washington movie called Mississippi Masala. If you ever get a chance to see it on YouTube streets, they got it. Black and East Indians, and in the movie, the East Indians they were cool with the black folks until the girl got involved with the Denzel character, and then they said, you know, you're black as my hat, but you think white, like these words. That's the truth. And that happened. That's nothing new. Nothing new. Yeah, it was. Oh, now we're going to really get in trouble with YouTube now. Way to go. Nah, I ain't mad. Tell it like it is. Tell it like it is. You know, you need to be told. People don't really want to hear the truth about how racist people be out here. And they wonder why I get that I don't care look on my face when they be coming at me with that jive. Because I'm like, yo, you don't care. You know? So, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. They sure did. Told us all the same. Same thing. Same thing. Nothing changed. Had to hear that crap, you know. Tell you that the Kennedys were your friends. Tell you that, you know, all these presidents, these racist bigots, sold you on this false pie in the sky. You know, tell you about Lyndon B. Johnson, even though he signed everything, he had no love. He just did it to make himself. Nixon was way, which is worse. Reagan, Kennedy's was the biggest scam there was. They were pre-mop heads before the Beatles. Bill Clinton with his old slick, janky self, used car salesman. Then Bushy boy, both the Bushy, the daddy and the son. Then you get, you know, she nice if you got money and you kiss her crown, but in terms of like dealing with her, no, she wasn't soft. But they had to say that though. They have to justify. They tried to justify it. It means when they try to justify that mess too. Well, yeah, because they called his baby Kunta, except the baby was how this black as an egg that you may put some brown crayon on, but it faded. I mean, like if that's a scary chocolate baby, then I don't know. Baby looked like the Caddenberry with the white cream. So where was all this? They act like the baby was gonna look like Seal the singer. I'm like, did I miss something? That's what they made it sound like. I know they made a racist remark because remember he dressed up as a neo-Nazi when he was in school. He was younger, but then he got woke. He got he changed up his ways. But yeah, he spoke out against his family. Well, if you rich like that and you call your family, if you rich like that and you call out your family as being bigots and stuff, and he ain't lying though. But you just can't go back there to the cookout. You ain't gonna. They gonna keep your butt outside the mailbox. You'll be in the tack room. He's in worse shape than his uncle. And you know what uncle I'm talking about? Oh, hanging out on Epstein Island. Oh, freaky deaky. Andrew's in better shape than Harry is, and Andrew ain't in no good shape. So yeah, yep. He's in bad shape. Andrew gonna be in good shape compared to Harry. Their day is coming though. Their day is coming. It's fake royalty. It's fake. That's what's up. Yeah, he's stiff. He's bought and paid off by his, bought and paid. He's trying to, you know, play that role. He got caught out when they was asking about how racist they were. And then he had like everybody black he could find in London to get behind him. He had a whole village on cue. See, the thing about it is his mama was a real one. She was exposing him. They played her off like a joke. And then she certainly hit like she actually became like fixed up. Like all of a sudden the joke was on him. And then she became iconic and then she hit. Yep. So and they've not lived up to her honor. So I always liked her though. She was cool. She was cool. Yep. She's the only thing that was tolerable about them. The only thing. So because I don't even like, like I said, I mean, their history is sordid and they got whole kinds of just, but she made them cool. She gave them credibility. hmm Oh, you can hear me now? Okay. Because the other one didn't work. So this one. Oh, oh, dang. I don't even want to dignify that because there was too many of them. A lot of them played on my bills. I mean, J.P. Losman was one of them. Jason Garrett was a, but you got to come up with someone who couldn't really play at all. Like they had no business being like Tebow or something, okay? Or Mark Sanchez after the butt fumble. That's the kind of people you need to, or Nathan Peterman, or early Gino Torretta. Gino Torretta sucked. Early Vinny Testaverde was garbage. Uh, yeah, Kyle. He sucked. Neil O'Donnell would fall in that group too. He sucked. I mean, when you throw picks to Larry Brown, oh boy. Usually I'll give a cat a pass if he got a Super Bowl runner up or, but when you just, yeah. Because when you play for the Giants, you just got to hit the pound, and he couldn't hit the pound. Anybody with Cleveland as a quarterback, pretty much. I mean, you're going to have they should almost win the race. Detroit, too. I mean, all you got to do is think about all the cast they had. That's your answers right there. Brian Lee falls in that class, but he wasn't a favorite scrub of mine. He was funny for the wrong reasons, But I don't really like NFL scrubs. I really don't, because only if you beat up on the team, you can actually look at the paper and say, we're going to beat them. But after the movie Any Given Sunday came out, and it changed. That changed. Yeah. But he was a third-tier quarterback of Green Bay, so no one took him serious. He was a clipboarder for life. So different. Very different. Very different. Because what happened was it became more common. It was almost like that film kind of put things in a different context. For instance, you used to could pencil in certain games, certain teams, but then it was kind of like after that movie, it's almost like they made the NFL more made for TV. The rules have changed, as you do know. It's more offensive oriented, less defense. When I was coming along watching NFL on Sundays, it's more defense that was dictating stuff. So it's different connotation where now a movie like that, you start to see the reality of what they're trying to create. See, at the time, it means more as time goes on. It's not as defensive dominant it was. They manipulated it, and they changed it more towards the quarterbacks, and they created a certain type of picture within a picture. When they wanted the Brady Manning situation, when they wanted certain teams to come up, that's why. And then given Sunday thing changed my view. I didn't always feel it was feel so scripted. He wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. I mean, Brad Johnson was in the same boat. And the thing about it is Purdy is not better than McCaffrey. He's not better than Debo and the receiver, Brandon and Bosa and them. I mean, he's not. Who's saying otherwise? Yeah, because is basically don't be a dummy and don't wreck this game. Because if you stay in the pocket, we'll give you enough chances. But if you mess it up, we end up, and the difference is that, again, what they allow nowadays, teams score more points. There was a time when the team was running and turning you over on defense. You don't need 2 touchdowns and a field goal. 20 points was it. That's the difference now. How many 13-10 games do you see now? 16-13. Heck, most of these poochies can't even make extra points. So extra points is just like the NBA. Guys can't shoot 10-foot, 12-foot shots, but they shoot threes. Just like kickers are kicking 50 and 60-yard field goals. Same thing. That's why I may given Sunday changed my views. There you go. It's not the same. They've manipulated. The manipulation came later though, not as strong in the OOs, but I'd say in the last, I tell you when New England beat Seattle, that was a turning point. Well, if you're talking about Jameson, there you go, because he is a bone. But he borders on being a scrub too. But they have changed it. It's not elite no more. So, it's very blurry now. So, I mean, you can make the case that it's always kind of been something like that because Joe Namath, because he beat as the Jets won the Super Bowl, he probably loves Purdy because he's getting a chance in his moment. Because Kurt Warner got a chance in the moment. Kurt Warner wasn't a great at it per se. So that's the difference. He made himself into a better quarterback, though. And he had great talent around him. Didn't hurt to have Marshall Faulk and Terry Holton and Isaac Bruce. Just saying. Yeah, I was too. Because I remember it been 20 years. He pretty good in Kansas City too. But he was a legit good coach. He gave me Larry Brown type of vibe. You know. And they went in Super Bowl too. They thinned of teeth too because boy, McNair was pulling that thing out. That was crazy. Mason tried to put that ball over the goal line. That was crazy. And the funny thing about that whole year is when Buffalo and Tennessee played, I said whoever wins that game is going to the Super Bowl. I just felt they were the two best teams. We came up short. It was. And he bought himself like 20 years out of it. That's what a run would get you. It was the norm except for the Raiders because Bill Callahan somehow got his behind plucked out of there after 3 years with the Raiders. But Fisher Price made it like a lifetime pass. He said, well, I got runner-up. I'm gonna camp here for like 30 years like a house mortgage. You go figure. But then again, he was with Tennessee. There was not the same expectation as the Raiders, so I get it. I get it. Yeah, he didn't. He didn't. The NFL didn't like him either. I remember Stephen A. dissed his throwing style, but Vince Young was winning some games. It was kind of mediocre, but he was winning games. Better than that. But that's what else could you ask for? It's a different day, different time. You know, so they just didn't like him because they couldn't auction him. That's all. See what he did in college against USC. He didn't have the ooh and ah factor. If he had the ooh and ah factor, they'd have kept him around for 10 years. Because he played in arguably the greatest college football game ever. He just didn't possess a lot of charisma. You know, you gotta remember, it is an audition and auction. It ain't just about what you put on the field, it's also what you sell off the field. And he was. No one talks about Dan Orlovsky because no one remembers his highlights. Told you his highlight reel is probably like 2 minutes long, and no one remembers his career. You got to have a career that we remember. Don't remember nothing he did. He jealous of him because he's got to remember Shannon is like the ultimate free agent. Shannon is like Shaq, Snoop, LeBron, like a free agent that he's gold. You want him on your squad. You know, I mentioned them three because when Shaq left Orlando to LA, Miami, he was must have. Snoop left Death Row, went to Master P No Limit, then went to Star Trek with Pharrell and them. Must have. You know, there's just kind of LeBron, obviously. Cleveland, Miami, back to Cleveland. LA must have. Shannon is in there. Shannon was a middle of the road cat when he was with CBS Sports. He's a firecracker. Now that he's Club Shay Shay and the thing with Ocho and all that, he's just using them as vehicles. He's got a credible platform lane now. Yeah, well, McAfee ain't nothing special, but that's white pop. That's some white politic in there. That's got anything to do with sports realists because McAfee is kind of like they're trying to set him up like Joe Rogan, and he's got Aaron Rodgers. That's what they're banking on. That one of the faces of the NFL is so in cahoots with him. That's what it's about. McAfee ain't even that distinctive. Now Shannon got humor, does his homework, played the game, sounds like a former player, makes you laugh, entertaining. He connects the dots. He takes the stiffness out. That's why. He said he would do anything for the master. He already said that. They pay him $12 million. He said he'd do anything. He says he wakes up every day to make them richer. So when you say stuff like that, they gonna treat you like that. Gonna pat you on your head like a nice doggy and a puppy and say, "You're a good boy. We like you. You're a good boy." So what you expect? I have no respect for him. Now, I'm going to be the first to tell you, in case you didn't know, no, I do not have a degree in journalism or anything like that. I just know how to articulate my points, my memory. I freestyle when you throw a name. We play these games. I come up with topics, and it works. You know, pretty much. And I respect where he came from when he was on Fox back in the day. He's a Philadelphia writer. I remember his whole story, but he's definitely been going through the mind. You can be intelligent and articulate and have humor. Stuart Scott did it, but I ain't never seen anybody on ESPN since Ralph Wiley who was so poetic. That was a poetic man on that network. If you didn't get to see him, Ralph Wiley was deep. John Sanders, even old freaky deaky half black Mr. Italian himself, Mike Tirico, runs circles around Stephen A on topics. They had some people that could run circles. Michael Wilborn, I will watch because he has knowledge, but he front run. He gets a bit on my nerve. He slurp too. No, they don't. They don't. Because they know how racist the country is. They will tell you to your face, why are you shuffling? We know it's bad. So, but the thing about Steven, he wears them suits and he wants to fit in. He makes himself accessible. That's all it is. It's not even about your journalism anymore. It's not journalism. That's not journalism. If everybody on these sports networks all say LeBron is the second greatest player ever, they're robots. They're not journalists. None of them feel that way. Not everybody feels that way. Um, well, she's there is because of imagery. That's what that's about. The curl, the skin tone. It's like Halle Berry cosmetics. They do it in movies. They do it on TV. That's what they want. But it's not about sports no more. They don't even debate. They only have about 5 or 6 topics. All they want to do is slurp LeBron, the Lakers, and the Dallas Cowboys. Mahomes to an extent, certain things. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do my video tomorrow about Kelsey and the hair. I am so offended by the high top, the fade. Travis Kelsey, really? Talking about the fade? Really? That's not even funny. So yeah, it is. And it's not even a cool looking fade too. Um, shoot, Vanilla Ice had a cool, but it was had it stacked, greased on the top, layered. But Michael Rappaport, that old racist bigot he is. Yeah, I mean, but they want to slurp Kelsey. He's not going to be bigger. I know you tried to come and tell me they try to make him like The Rock. Good luck with that. Not the. He's not rock worthy. He's not rock worthy. I don't even think he's as charismatic as Gronk. I mean, he has some coolness about him. Yeah. But Gronk had a little more coolness. Grunk's a party boy who's detailed. Kelsey's like he's trying to channel so much. So I don't know. Oh yeah, that'd be the best thing ever. And you need to stop, man, because now you you know what you just did? It's like conspiracy, Ted. You better be careful. They're gonna fool around and pull on me on this channel. They're gonna pull on me now because of you. You better be careful. You better be careful, y'all. You know what you just said? And I can so see it in the middle of the field. Taylor, will you? Oh yeah. Yeah. What was it? What was that game? That college game back in '02, Utah State. That dude did that with the cheerleader. You know what I'm talking about because your brain be thinking like that. I remember that because I remember it was a New Year's Eve day, one of them games, and I was tripping when I saw it because I thought, oh wow, yeah, Boise State. There you go. Yeah, you remember. And I remember when dude did that. Now it would be hilarious if someone gets turned down, which I have seen on something. But yeah, I remember that. That was hilarious. Yeah, they wouldn't like that. Then next year, Mahomes' brother will propose to Kelsey's ex because I heard about them two hooking up in the lounge. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's going on now too. Kelsey's ex girl and Mahomes' brother met up. So that'll be the next year's saga if they make a three-peat. Something crazy. Then I know the NFL's getting scripted. But I do believe you're right. I definitely believe you're right. And if she says yes and they get married, I don't know if he comes back next year. If he do, he come back for one more. Oh yeah, but they in the business. They all because they're milking off of him. That's why. I mean, that's what you do in the crew. Mahomes, though, is a faithful cat, though. I ain't got no dirt on him. But I definitely know his brother they definitely be 304, though. They definitely 304. They got stuff on him. Yeah, they do. They got stuff on him. Man, Mahomes has been pretty low key, though. You know. The one thing he did the right way is he wiped up his girl, and yeah, then the enemy comes back next year and can't, what will they do? It's a soap that's going to continue. But if you do one back to back and you got 3 rings, that's pretty much a statement. That's a dynasty, and people will have to kiss the rings. It's just too good to be true. Especially if they kick San Francisco's behind. Could you imagine that? Beat the shit twice, and with 2 different quarterbacks in 2 different ways with 2 different endings. It's crazy. Then Mahomes will be only behind Brady. I will say that. And Kelsey will be tied with Gronk. And Andy Reid will sit at the table with the elite of the elite head coaches. Because when you got all the rings, I mean, it's kind of tough not to. I mean, let's be realistic. Brady is that's a freaky out of body. That's not the norm. If you get a couple rings, if you get 1 or 2, 3 is like a great standard. So it's unheard of, chartered territory. So even though I do think Mahomes can win about 4 or 5, though, I do. If not more, depends on how healthy he is and focused, but definitely. Well, yeah, as long as they don't turn the ball over and they keep the clock moving and they make Frisco, they put him to sleep because Frisco wants to play sleepy ball. So yeah. If he looks down the field, that'd be interesting. I wonder if he will. Sure, they'll do some play action. Catch him off guard. Yeah, that's how you make Frisco tired. Then you run some quick screens. Then you run some quickies up the middle. You make them. That's how Kelsey can be fresh. That's how they get a 1-on-1 because they double him up. You know, I know what Stephen A was saying, but Kansas City makes adjustments all the time. I mean, easier said than done when you got to go against Mahomes. What you planning to do and what you end up doing is 2 different doings. So, you know, so just saying. That could be a long day. Frisco just has to basically, Purdy has to do play action. Yeah, if they bite early, make it happen. Mahomes is going to get about 3 or 4 plays down the field. That's just automatic because he's got it like that. But it depends on what kind of plays down the field he get him on. Now, the mistake that most teams do, he tears your behind up on the right, he tears your butt up on the left. Very seldom you get him in the middle. So if he gets you on quick hits behind, like he did against Buffalo or against Baltimore with that sluggy behind thrown, it's a problem. One thing with Purdy, you just got to make him roll to his right because his strength is to his left. He likes to come back front of you and throw across. You got to make him throw across his body, and you got to actually make him try to beat you in the middle. He looks for them slants in the middle. He looks for them 25, 30-yard passes in the middle. You want him to go hard right, blindside him. If they can make him, go 8-9 in the box, make him have to use his arm. That's what you got to do. Like I said before, it's not, and you hear me say it right here now in case you want. For Frisco to win, he has to be the best player on their team. Short, simple. This ain't going to be like Green Bay and Detroit. Got to finish up with your quarterback as the dude, so. Yeah, but he has to be the dude make it happen. Purdy has to make it happen. So. That's how I look at it. If they want to win. And Kansas City is not going to be like Green Bay and Detroit. I don't know, because boy don't miss too many kicks for Kansas City. Barnes is pretty accurate. I don't know. He kicked a lot of field goals this year. I don't know. Don't know. But that's the key. And it's going to come down to about a few plays. Well, let's just cut to the chase. Donovan McNabb and Jalen Hurts ain't exactly Patrick Mahomes, okay? Now, Jalen Hurts got a promising future. We'll see what happens. And McNabb was a very good quarterback. They ain't Mahomes. They ain't Mahomes. Big difference when I talk about a quarterback that's top 3, top 5, definitely one of the greatest ever, no matter where you got him ranked, as opposed to a guy that was very good and another guy that's showing signs of something. Yeah, I remember all that. I remember that. You remember Hugh Douglas got himself in trouble when he was on Fox, though, because he dissed, I forgot what he said. It wasn't on Fox. It was on ESPN with Michael Smith and Jamil Hill, because he made some remark, and they got his butt up out of there. Yeah, I remember Dawkins. Remember all that. No, Andy Reid's a better coach now than he was with Philly. He has better talent. That's kind of how it goes. If you're lucky. If you're lucky. Just like Belichick with Cleveland going to New England. A great coach is only as good as he got a great quarterback, and he can manufacture and make him work. If he can't, don't get the results. Yeah, frustrating. As I told you, they were frustrating. They've been frustrating since the Dan Fouts era. I mean, if I told you that Stan Humphries, of all the quarterbacks they've had, is the only one to get them to the show, you'd scratch your head because they had Dan Fouts, Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees, Justin Herbert. Those four guys make Stan Humphries look like a third clipboard holder. He's the only one to get them to the Super Bowl. Go figure. Go figure. So, so. And Phillip Rivers was frustrating too. Man, he was the broke Brett Favre, gunslinging swinger. He'd have games where he could beat the Colts and beat the Patriots and beat the Steelers. And then he go against the Browns or some screw-up team and get beat by 30. Just frustrating. He did. And then they'd always be close on the cusp of the playoffs and just find a way to lose. They've been stacked with talent. Stacked. Antonio Gates can get in the Hall of Fame right now. That's the big news going on right now. I have to do that one. I might do that as a video. Antonio Gates and Brian Mitchell both got turned down. But Gates is real surprising. Well, he got the 3 Super Bowls. And I'm not going to hold that against him. It's tough. It's tough. Football is not like basketball where guys can get multiple rings. He's got 2 rings. He got the 3 Super Bowl appearances. I mean, that's an incredible career. Brady and Belichick just were on another level, but hey, 2 rings and 3 appearances ain't nothing to sneeze at. Aaron Rodgers would be so lucky. Okay, Brett Favre would be so lucky. Okay, just saying. Drew Brees would be so lucky. Just saying. That's a ton in the NFL. Brady is that's like mythical proportion. It's not the norm. Montana made it start of it. Brady took it to another level. If Mahomes gets to 3, and I say that his is even more special because I know before someone brings up Troy Aikman, Aikman had a stacked team, a real stacked team on both sides. That's why Mahomes' will be incredible. His is already is. Now, that had more to do with politics, though. He was loud, boisterous, talked about the white folks, and they hate it. There's a difference. I know why they did it. And it was a political agenda. It wasn't even about, you know, that was their Major League Baseball, basketball way of saying, we're going to show you, Negro. That's what that was about. It happens in the NBA all the time. If you knew how long Adrian Dantley had to wait certain cats, that's what that was about. I'm just saying it's true. They got these rules. They do. So, see, in these streets, we have what we call a common sense Hall of Fame. But when you're in that white corporate world and you buck, you talk, say what you say, white folks want you to crawl on all fours and be the cat's meow. I'm just saying. Just saying. I've seen it with my own eyes. They like them like that. They want you to be like crawling and begging, master, please, let me in the Hall of Fame, please. They do it in music too. Well, I already told you, Bob McAdoo comes to mind. Adrian Dantley come to mind. I mean, those cats come up off the top. I'm sure there are others. I just, again, it's politics. It's just what they want. They make common sense weight because if they can't market them, i.e., to white acceptance, that's what they do. They're never gonna do that to a black player that's crossover. Especially if he wins and he's got, he sells jerseys. That ain't happening. But if he's black, there's ways about it. That's why Jordan told Clyde Drexler, you got to know how to play the game. It's game to it. He ran his own self out more than anything, though. Because he was a one-trick dimension, big boy who hit a home run. But he wasn't threatening anything else. His glove was okay, But baseball's a different situation. That's an entirely different situation. Can't compare. Barry Bonds is a triple loaded Decker sandwich. But baseball and NBA is two different entities. The NBA thing, there's older brothers. But cats that come along now, they're going straight in. Steph, Durant, LeBron, they going in. Kawhi go in. As long as Kawhi don't do nothing crazy. But they all going in. No, he wasn't. He was good. Because the Yankees got a steal from Seattle. He fit in good. He fit. I like Tino. How you call him a bum? Was he going to be Don Mattingly? Great? No. But he fit in with the nickel and dime of Bernie Williams, Paul O'Neill, Jeter. He was a good fit. Now, you could say he was better in Seattle where he showed more promise, but he fit in differently with the Yankees, just like Knobloch, Girardi. No, he was an asset. Just like Scott Brocious was. I mean, I didn't have no expectation for Tino. He hit some big hits. He came up big. I don't think he was asked to be a superstar. Well, like, everybody was behind Jeter anyway. The only time they got luxurious is when they got A-Rod. And then Chef too. Because Clemens was past the pull date too, so can't really expect. I didn't really have that going with Tino. Well, he stayed a pimp, part-time preacher. The whole thing with the Mets. I remember that like yesterday, but could have been one of the greatest though. Could have been. Him and Gooden were ahead of the curve. Those were some scary kids. Clemens was worth it. Clemens was worth it. He stayed great for a long time. Yeah. So. I had never heard no one call Tino a bum. I got fit. They were a different mindset when Jeter and them were running and winning rings. When they had David Wells and Cone and all of them, they just Messina, they were a different fit. Even Clemens, they all fit. It wasn't like it was check your ego. Torrey really had they had a certain aura, but they weren't in their dominant prime. They won a lot of games. They came together, but it was Jeter was the one. Well, I have to go in prehistorical terms, but I think in my lifetime, I love Ron Guidry, Clemens, Messina, CC Sebastian was big for us. El Duque, that's 5 that I enjoyed. Rivera, because reliever, no. Goose Gossage, 2. Sparky Lyle, 2. Andy Petty, there you go. So, Andy Petty was one of my favorites. Even though Guidry was a better pitcher, dominant, Petty was, I really loved Andy. Because I think diehard Yankee fans, a left-handed pitcher is always special. It's nothing like that southpaw. And then sentimentalist for Dave Righetti. I still remember that no-hitter he threw back in '83. Sentimentalist. But those guys come to mind. Oh, yeah, he racist trash. He just like Kurt Schilling. But that white boy that want to be Babe Ruth, beer drinking, eating nachos and ribs all day long, that turkey came up big. He fit like a glove. He could give you 7, 8 innings. When you used to make that mandatory, now it ain't. Wells was a workhorse. He was. Like I said, they had different standards then, though. That's not the same Yankees. I haven't seen the Yankees in 15 years. He had the nose. He had the nose and the lips. And he was a pimp. He was a player. She used to ride them streets. If he was found out he was black, that would wreck their mythology of him. I bet you they would change the candy bar to a white bar. He did look like it. It's because of his hair. It's amazing when I see Babe Ruth because they would never promote a white athlete like that today. Or a black one for that matter. But if you can play, you can play. I don't care what your body type is. Baseball's about hand-eye coordinating. It's not about your body type. Because Greg Maddux was like a lawyer, but he was dominant. So don't let the size fool you. He was a great hitter. He's one of my favorites. I love Gwen. He was one of those guys that, you know, I ain't heard that name in so long. There you go again. I ain't heard Benito Santiago since forever. Next, you'll mention Tony Pena, who was the most distinguished catcher I ever saw because Tony Pena would actually kneel with his legs down on the ground. Benito was cool. It's a different era. Different. I can give me a bite. So I should be back about 30 minutes to an hour. So come on back. I must check out for now. It's break time. Like Andres Gagliano, good hitter, clutch. Ellis Burke could hit too. Yeah, with Boston. I remember you mentioned some names. Keep them baseball names coming when I get back. 30 minutes to an hour back. All right, peace.